welcome back to my channel. I have a very interesting topic that I'm really excited to talk to you about today. It's going to be a friendship starter kit just for you. This is going to be a video on how to make a friend. And I think I'm going to make a series of videos about this because there's a lot of areas to go into this topic. So I want to start with the friendship starter kit. Basically, I want to help or want to talk about what are some best practices for either looking for a friend, starting a friendship, what to look for, what not to look for, and what to be super conscious of just while starting new friendships. Because honestly, I am discovering how much there is a lack of teaching of friendship. Like we figured it out somewhat in kindergarten, and then we never really grew up on our skills. And some people just don't know how to make friends anymore, even if it's like in any space, like online space, co-working space, school space. There's just a lot of spaces where people are just like, I have no idea. So here are some things that I want to just share. But also, disclaimer, this is not guaranteed to work. This doesn't mean that no matter wherever you go, whatever room you walk into, you're gonna find your bestie. That is not the point of this. There has definitely been plenty of rooms where I walked into and was there for a long time where I didn't really connect with anyone. That's gonna happen, and that's okay. Actually, that's best, because you don't want to like randomly connect yourself or put yourself in a box with someone who wasn't really meant to be your confidant or someone close to you anyway. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go forward because I wrote some things down. So the friendship starter kit. Before anything, I want to talk about what a friend is, because some people have no idea what that is and they don't really know how to like be that to people. So here it is. A friend is someone who respects you mutually. Like you both respect each other. And what does that mean? I want to get into this. I want to get into this stuff because I think it's important. I really do. Mutual respect just means that you admire this person to a certain degree and they feel the same about you. Maybe it's not entirely the same, but to me, respect is when you recognize the accomplishments, the ideas, you hear what comes out of their mouth and you listen. You don't disregard, you don't joke. You know, you can joke with your friends. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you acknowledge them as a full human being that is worthy of, you know, your ear, is worthy of, you know, taking advice from. Someone who, like, it doesn't need to be like your boss or someone on a crazy level, just someone who you see as fully human, as someone who you're like, okay, the opinions that this person has, I want to hear them. That is all I mean by respect. It doesn't mean you have to be formal. It doesn't mean you have to be like, you know what respect is. Come on. But some people don't. Trust. That is a big part of friendship. Trust. And trust, I truly feel like, comes from knowing that if someone shares something with you, you're going to withhold onto that. And it also comes from respect. Being able to hold on to something someone has shared with you and being able to not share with anybody else, being loyal, being able to give up some of the burdens that maybe you're thinking about or some of the thoughts on your mind to another person and sharing a little bit, you know? That is trust to me. That is being able to like do things with this person and feel like I can give them my bag. And nothing's gonna happen to it. In fact, the thought doesn't even cross my mind because that's my friend. They can stay in my house because that's my friend. They can drive my car because that's my friend. Like, everybody has their own comfortability in terms of trust, but whatever you and your friend have like with each other, you should both have it. You should both be able to trust each other. You should both be able to like not freak out if the other person has something of yours. You should believe that you'll either get it back or that it'll be well taken care of. Like, that is just basic friendship, and you are worthy of that bare minimum. These are bare minimum things. You should not be constantly freaking out if your friend took something from you. You shouldn't be freaking out if you feel like your friend isn't a safe person to be around or a safe person to tell things to. Some people just don't know these things, and I want to make sure that you guys know it because you guys deserve the best. My people deserve the best. Truly. Okay, last, these are just 3 things. Support. This is what it means to be a friend. Support. That doesn't always mean, but can sometimes mean helping someone move. It can mean if they are having a bad day, you maybe are willing to go out of your way to visit them or DoorDash something for them, or just support them, hear them out. They give you an idea and that they really want to do, and you support them. You're like, I'm here for you. If you need this, I'll be there. I'll help you with that. Maybe they can't, it doesn't mean you have to give up your finances, but sometimes being a friend means that you do give up your time. Because what did you ask for? A friendship. So that means that some of your life, some of your time is going to be given to that person that you've chosen to be friends with. So that's why choosing your friends is important, y'all. What you do with your life and your time is completely up to you. But I want you to be aware that you should be giving that to people who you can trust, who you can respect, and who you can support. That you could truly say, like, something bad happens to them, I'm gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna help them. I'm going to praise them when they win. I'm going to support them. And there's a completely other side of being a friendship, which is honesty, when someone has maybe a bad idea and you have to be truthful with them. And in a lot of ways, you can see that as respect and also as support. But yeah, every friendship is different, obviously. But these are just like three main things, respect, and support, and trust. So these are huge. If you want to know what you should be looking for in a friendship, that's what friendship is. That's what a friend is. Someone who can do the bare minimum, which is those three things. So it doesn't mean you have to open your wallet. It doesn't mean that you suddenly have to give up all your weekends. That's not what that means. I'm so sorry. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that those are bare minimum things that you should be considering when you're looking for a friend. All right. So how to start? How to start getting into a friendship? There are quite a few methods that I've written down here that I personally use, and I really want to be clear that whomever you've targeted or whomever you've decided, I want to be friends with that person. That should be like the thought in your head. Like, sometimes things happen. Sometimes things just happen and you're like, oh my God, like, we've known each other for a week and now we're besties. Like, sometimes those things happen and those things are magical and those things are great. But sometimes you do walk into an environment and you meet someone and you're like, wow, I want to be friends with that person for whatever reason. So there's a lot of methods to do that, because I've definitely walked in a classroom, walked into work, and just new spaces in general where there was a lot of people my age or close to my age where I felt like I want to make a friend, or I can make a friend here. The potential for friendship is strong in whatever space that you walked into. So whomever you kind of got your eye on, like, I admire this person. I think that's a big part of like choosing your friends is admiration. I admire this person. They have traits or qualities that I would love to have myself, or that seem really fun or seem really great, or positive. And I'm not saying try to find a person to fix you. There's always two sides. But you should at the very least, admire the person that you're looking to be friends with. I think that that's huge. That's a huge part of the respect. That's a huge part of the support and the loyalty and all of that. You are going to want to find someone that you admire, that you see standing on their own 2 feet, and you're like, wow, I don't know what it is, but that person, I want to be friends with them. How to start? Behave as if you are already friends. That's one of my favorite methods, and truthfully, it kind of just works with people my age or younger. You kind of just walk in and it's already like linked arms, you know what I mean? You don't have to go that far. Whoa. And this is something like a lot of extroverts do, and if you're an introvert, this is a little harder. But if you can find the like energy in you and the courage to just do it once, you might be surprised. And I do think it works better with like people who are younger than you, people who already have like, oh, this person's older than me, more experienced than me, whatever the heck. There's already a tiny level of respect there. So for you, unless they don't respect you, period, which you're gonna have to be like, on top of you trying to be my friend, I'm also older than you and you can't find any ounce of respect for me. Noted. But anyway, that's not what we're doing. Anyway, it is definitely this kind of thing where you go over and you're like, oh my God, like, did you like start talking to them about something random? Like, oh my God, did you see that thing that happened? Oh, did you watch Wicked? Oh my God, that Wicked was so good. Did you enjoy it? I can't stop listening to the soundtrack. Oh my God, Benny's new album is so good. Like, just automatically starting a conversation that you guys had not already started, that you guys had no context for. Maybe you're maybe it's coming out of nowhere, or maybe you're just aggressively complimenting them. It needs to come from somewhere, and it needs to just happen. You need to start the friendship in like the middle or halfway through the beginning point already. You can't go through like the awkward, we don't know each other, we're not really talking phase. You skip to the middle of the beginning. And again, like, don't touch them if you're not extroverted. Like, that might cause more problems. But if you feel so comfortable, then yeah, just like kind of immediately just starting the friendship in the middle of the beginning, just not waiting and for like just be an extrovert for a day and watch, and then the rest of the time you can stay an introvert, but be an extrovert for a day or an hour and see how that goes. But yeah, connecting automatically with people like that, it helps a lot, because you kind of break the ice and you break the awkwardness in the beginning, and you're already in a new comfortable place where you're like communicating back and forth and you're getting a flow, and that's nice. If they're not getting into it with you, then that could be a sign of like, oh, maybe this friendship's not for me, or not worth my energy, whatever. But yes, another method is to simply introduce yourself. If you have found someone that you're like, oh yeah, we could be friends, I feel like there's friendship potential here, we're working side by side, blah blah blah, maybe it's the first day, maybe you just met in school or whatever, just introduce yourself. And that's something you need to perfect. That's something that needs to like get work, because not everybody knows how to introduce themselves well. Not everybody knows how to just like come off on a certain way, because you don't always want to come off so strong. You don't always want to come up so timid. You might want to just learn how to find your balance. And that also feels like you. Like, here's a glimpse into who I am, how I speak, what I like, in a very like small introduction. And just being like, I guess the way I would do it would be like, hi, I'm Joe Zadak. You can call me Joe though. That was a bad example, but like, I guess that's basically how I would start. And then asking questions. Asking questions should be its own method, but it's part of introducing yourself. Asking them questions. Be interested in them and see how they respond. Not only will they give you probably the answers to your questions, and ask some good ones. Not only will they give you the answer to your question, but it will probably open up the door for them to ask you questions, and boom, dialogue. And I think one thing that like really helps is finding a common interest. Finding a common interest as quickly as you can. You need to hit all the things: music, books, movies, sports, if that's what you're into, genres of music, like whatever you can connect on. There is potential to do activities with them. There's potential to like hang out around that thing. It could be as simple as both really loving matcha and like having, okay, I'm gonna look into that later. But it could be as easy as like, yeah, you both like matcha, so you can make matcha together or try out a new matcha place. It's that little of a connection that you guys can have. You can have like the same brand, like TV show, app, even meme. It could be that little, but please like try to find it as quickly as possible if you can. A lot of the times people like wear the things that they love or have keychains, or just pay attention, or they will like play a song, like whatever it is. Like if someone's listening to music, that's such a good one. Like, what are you listening to? Like, boom. And you're not always gonna connect on everything, but if you're like spirits are connecting and you are finding yourself engaged and really interested in what they're telling you, you gotta be open-minded. You have to be open-minded for friendship, truly. Especially if it's someone you don't have too many common interests on. Get ready to learn something new. It's like, I want to be friends with this person. Guess what? I'm going to learn about opera music right now because they're telling me about it. So open up your ears and get interested. So it's a decision. You can't always, sometimes you have to force yourself to like be interested in stuff. And guess what? Sometimes that opens the door to you finding something new to love. And that's exciting too. So I don't know, maybe one day I'll find someone who really, really loves sports and I can learn a lot through that. But yeah, or different language, different culture. There's a million things to like ask about and find out about. And I love learning about people's culture. Even religion, if that's something that doesn't bother you learning about. If you guys have different religions, I did that in like 5th grade, and I found one of my closest friends that year by asking about their religion. Completely opposite of mine. Our belief systems were different, but we were able to share with each other so much, and I will always cherish that. But yeah, friendship. Friendship. One thing that I can recommend to introverts, this is just a little tip that I want to throw in there, is that you should probably learn to say more stuff out loud. Your thoughts, particularly. If you don't say anything, nobody knows anything. You know what like, you should be saying more of your thoughts out loud. Like, wow, that customer was really rude, or wow, that customer was really rude, or I don't know, I don't really like my outfit today. This opens the door for people to comment for you, and it could kind of be said that that's fishing, like fishing for compliments, fishing for whatever. But there's different ways you can phrase it, and there's different ways for you to go about it that will definitely have people talking to you. Or you can simply ask the question like, do you guys think that this hat looks good? Or just like the person next to you. It doesn't need to be like, you know, something crazy profound. Or maybe you have a question. Like, it's too many things for you not to try. You know, keep those thoughts, like, don't keep those thoughts inside. Let your mind kind of speak. Like, oh my god, my necklace is so itchy, I don't know. And like, believe me, someone will say, well, what do you know what it's made out of? Like, that's what I would ask. No, I think it's like nickel. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, nickel really irritates my sister's skin, actually. You should try getting more stainless steel stuff. Like, really? Where should I get that? Blah, blah, blah. You know? Okay. Okay. One thing I wanted to also mention was kindness, and kind of like this idea of extending the olive branch, which is basically this idea of, if you're still trying to get friendship with this person, or you're starting this friendship with this person, you're already kind of like in the middle of the beginning, and you kind of have a little, you know, back and forth, whatever. I would say that one of the things that I would personally do next, just naturally, would be like offering, like, if they say I'm tired, to offer to get them a coffee, or offer to like, oh, I'm about to place an order for like some matcha. Would you want some? Or if they're cold, offering your jacket. Or, you know, I would be wary of, like, I'm gonna make a whole video about things that you maybe shouldn't do when you just met somebody, and I'll make a whole video about that because this one's already getting like kind of long. But there's definitely like things that you could do to kind of like say, hey, I'm willing to, like, you know, consider you. That's basically it. I'm willing to consider you. Whether that's getting them a coffee, or maybe getting them a napkin, or like little things. It does not have to be crazy. Or, hey, I remember you said that your pen broke. I brought another one today. It doesn't take much, but it's just the little things. And I think you should really pay attention to how that person responds, not just with thank yous, but also like, oh, you got me last time, I'll get you this time. That to me is a sign of a good friendship. And we should always be conscious that, do I want to be friends with this person, should be floating in your brain. Do I want to be friends with this person? If the answer's after every interaction, yes, then like, yeah, pursue that friendship for sure. There's definitely great people, but yeah, don't be wary of people taking advantage. Be wary of people, like, if you're extending the olive branch, that they do the same, or that they are also considerate of you, especially when you need something little or minor, because it's good to like look into the friendship and say, is this person considering me the way that I'm considering them? Because at the beginning of a friendship, things are so crucial. Things are so, like, you know? But yeah, that's just, especially if you're spending a lot of time with this person. Maybe I can make a video about talking or making friendships online, because I know what that's like as well. And that's definitely different. But please, get them an extra water, and be wary of people who aren't willing to do the same. Like, it's not that you're requiring them to like behave the exact same as you, because sometimes not everybody can do that, but to just like have you be someone that they also want to be with and also want to do things for. Not that they have to, but like, do you know what I mean? Being considerate of you as well, thinking of you as well, especially if you like slip and fall and need a napkin, or if you Just kind of like the support thing. The support thing should definitely always be there, and the respect and the trust. So when you're developing a brand new friendship, those are things you should keep in mind about people. Oftentimes, I've always felt like, I don't know, I have to credit this to God, because I always feel like I know when someone is like a good person. Like, I've always known when someone is like of a good nature, and I've always found myself connecting and kind of leaning towards not the coolest person in the room or even the loudest or the best. Like, sometimes your friendships can only last a season and like instead of a lifetime. Being conscious of that like is so true, because we always, like, I think as a kid I idealized friendships. I was like, they're meant to last forever, and those are beautiful, but the ones that are just a season are also valuable and are worthy of your investment as well. So that's also important, like, to think about. But with yeah, just being considerate of each other. I think that's like good. And I've always just kind of found those people everywhere I go, and I love that. And sometimes, like I said, I've entered spaces where I connected with no one. That's okay. Sometimes that's better, because even if everybody looks super nice and happy, maybe they're just not for you. They're just not meant to like walk beside you or give you the best advice. It's not what you're supposed to hear. It's not who you're supposed to spend time with. But yeah, sometimes those friendships just find you. But that's everything for today. Hold on. I think my audio is going out. Oh, okay. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'm definitely gonna be making more. I actually really like making videos like this. And hopefully I'll make a smaller version on TikTok soon. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Te amo, guys.